Yeah, I'm here to complete what I started. Yeah, earlier in the other short tip, I was talking about you know, what my heart desire is, and also the worry I have in relation to the way people suffer from knee joints. I mean, joint pains and other issues relating to arthritis. Now, as I was saying in that tip, I've actually mentioned that treating the cause of, or rather treating joint pains, be it on the knee, limbs, and another part of the body is actually threefold. Yeah, so we looked at the synovial fluid, which is also one of the problems. Sometimes I said that could be because of the drying up of the synovial fluid. And most of the time, the synovial fluid will dry up for or reduce in quantity for a lot of reasons. It could be because of some medications, or by age and some other factors. Now, apart from the synovial fluid, actually, I have also in that other tip defined what the synovial fluid is. I said it's compared to the way grease works in bearings or engines and the rest of them. That is what helps us so that we don't have friction or reduces the friction we have when we actually moving, when we're having motion in our joints. Now, it's a thick fluid actually, that lubricates our joints. So you can imagine when the fluid is not there, and then your bone is actually rubbing against the other in a bid to secure movement. So that is what the synovial fluid is. And then apart from that one, there's another issue, and that is the issue of uric acid. Now, uric acid in our systems, crystallize when they become in excess. So when they begin to crystallize, these crystals also begin to clog up, and then we begin to have a lot of issues, with this crystallized uric acid. And that's a whole world of discussion, having to talk about why we have this crystallization, having to talk about, how they actually impact on our health. That I will not be dealing with here. My purpose will actually be on how to, some of the remedies, to these issues. And then apart from that, another thing is also our lifestyle. Yeah, one of my members, when I brought out the first uncompleted tape, actually threw some more light, brought up, a lot of issues also in relation to this knee problem or joint problem. Now, he asked some questions, and those questions are actually, not really questions. Yeah, they are questions in a way, but rhetoric, and then I begin to wonder why, in his own words, he was saying people have this knee problems, the joint issues, because uric acid, because of inflammations in the joints and all that, which is the third one, the joint inflammation. There are so many things that will cause our joints to be inflamed, and cause them also to be rubbing against each other or to have pains and all that around those joints. But he was wondering, why with all this problem, you still see people with this knee problem, still living in a way that does not suggest they actually know what they are up against. He was asking why people like that still take very cold or ice water rather, and was trying to link the impact this have even on their knees, even for people who are okay and fine. Now, I always tell people that we are warm-blooded, we are not cold-blooded. So very cold things, freezing cold, definitely cannot go down with our organs. We are warm-blooded. The warmer, the better for us. Well, that does not suppose you have to be taking hot water. But to now take all the ice blocks and ice waters you see around, the ice creams and the rest of them, it's not really what we're meant to be compatible with. So that is it. That absolutely low temperature, very cold temperature of drinks and all that does not help people who have these issues, not even for people who are normal. Yeah, they said they still take all these things. They take all the sugars, take all the minerals. These are inflammatory foods, for God's sake. Not just the minerals, all the white, the white bread, the white flour, bread made from white flour and the rest of them, so many of these inflammatory foods. Sometimes it's good that we at least we Google some of these things to really find out what these inflammatory foods are. Because our lifestyle so much determines how healthy we are, not just our bones, but our overall, system. Yes. So we're looking at these things. So that means if you're going to treat this, you're going to be looking at it from two aspects. And then there's this other aspect of physiotherapy, because with these cloggings of the arteries and the rest of them, some of the time, one of the things that helps is also exercise. And that's what a good, you know, a good he's a psychotherapist now. Sorry about that. Physiotherapist, we also have to handle little exercises, around the joints, or exercises that are befitting for those particular joints. Because there are times that apart from the medications we take, apart from the anti-inflammatory foods and the rest of them, apart from those things that have to remove uric acid from your system or reduce the quantity of uric acid that have accumulated in your system, apart from them, you might need also a physiotherapist, depending on your condition. If that happens, if I'm dealing with you, either treating you or giving you counsels, and discover you need a physiotherapist, definitely I'll recommend one for you. Yes, so, depending on where you are anyway, I have, people also who are good at that. Yes, but I'm not a physiotherapist. Yeah, good. So that is it. So these things are very, very important. So if you are sick, if you have an ailment, it's good you know what irritates you, to know the triggers of those ailments, so that when you avoid the triggers, oh sure, you live better with less pain. Yes. So I was trying to raise some issues in the tip. I was trying to say, well, some of those things sometimes one thing leads to another. Most of the time, the approach other people have is to place you on pain relievers, very strong pain relievers. They could be, salves like ibuprofen, aspirin, Panadol Extra, and the rest of them. Some of these steroids actually, can also have their adverse effects. Some of them can also help in wearing out our stomach linings, so that after treating your arthritis or pain or joint pains, you will still have to treat ulcer and the rest of them. Your stomach wall could suffer so much by reason of some of these strong anti-pain. Some of these pain relievers could be good at a short run, at short term rather, but when it's on a long term, most of them definitely might not be. And the interesting thing is that some of our doctors know this, but those who are victims most of the time are even people who prescribe these drugs for themselves. You just feel some pain, you run to the chemist, you need ibuprofen, you need this. Maybe they work for you, some time past, and you feel they keep working like that. These things don't just work this way. So we have a lot of problems, a lot of problems. But I say that it revolves around this, and some of these things that also remove uric acid from our systems, come handy in natural stuff. They come very handy. So I want to encourage us that I'm going to be doing so much, like I promised. I'm going to be, researching further, looking deep inwards to see how God can use me and use most of you here bringing your contributions to actually begin to put these pains away. I've interacted with people who are actually in real pain, and it's my wish that these pains just go away. I don't have to make money from them, but let the pains just go away. But where they need to get some medications, well, we're there to get that across to them. We need to eat right. We need to eat right. Most of these inflammations are actually coming from the food we eat, coming from our lifestyle. You don't need the air conditions so much to be that cold. Sometimes, my God, yeah, as I say what I'm saying, I can actually remember some scenarios of people who actually are not supposed to, expose themselves to very cold conditions, even with what they suffer. Some of those things could be more severe in the rainy seasons or in the cool seasons when the place is very wet. So they are actually related in one way or the other, like I said, to the lifestyles we live. Let's keep the sugars away. Let's eat natural as we can. What I mean is, let 90% of the food we eat be things that are grown from the earth. Let them be things that are whole grains. Let them be things that are grown from the ground. Let them be vegetables. Let them be cereals. Whatever they are, let them be things that are grown from the ground. Of course, You can eat your yam, you can eat your local rice, you can eat your beans, you can eat just anything that, as long as you know that this thing was given, was brought forth from nature. Once they have to go through heavy processing, they have to be denatured, from their natural state, they can just compound our problems. I'll stop here, but like I said, because we are working, we are searching. We've gathered so much also, even at this time, that can really help people. So if you are suffering from any of these ailments, if you are still having problem, about joint pains, knee and all that, we'll still be able to help. You can chat me up privately or call my number. I'm always available, 070-3355-9398. God bless you. It's my prayer that this new year is going to be different for you. My prayer is that God is going to hearken to your cries. You're going to prosper. You're going to be rich in all things, and especially in the areas of your health. God bless you. I remain your friend, Peter I. Ochu. Amen.